All rise.
Sports Court is in session.
Sports Court, sponsored by the Grand Rapids Gold.
Last week, we were just waiting with bated breath for the Big Ten to make an announcement as to whether or not they were actually going to suspend or punish Michigan at all. Turns out, they decided to suspend head coach Jim Harbaugh, so that leads us to ask, did the Big Ten get it right by suspending Jim Harbaugh for 3 games? I gotta go with yes. I understand that the argument might be, well, Harbaugh didn't know what Connor Stalions was doing to get all this video. He didn't know. Okay, well, you're the head coach. And as the saying goes, the buck stops there. So whether you knew or not, you are still liable for the information coming into you if it was obtained illegally. As the head coach, as the man in charge, somebody had to pay for the fact that the Michigan football team was illegally scouting their opponents for what seems like years. Jim Harbaugh had to fall on the sword for the team. I think the Big Ten got this one right.
Jamal, you clearly didn't go to law school because you are innocent until proven guilty, and that's the case with Jim Harbaugh. I don't think the Big Ten has all of the facts. If Jim Harbaugh was complicit, I think he definitely needed to be suspended, but I don't know how you can make a ruling of any kind when you don't have all of the information in front of you. There's been a lot of reports coming out about Connor Stalions, obviously with the Central Michigan gear on the Michigan State sidelines, and I think people are freaking out about that. You would think that the head coach of a university would know everything that's going on with his program, but there's no way for him to know every single thing about every single player or coach on that staff. I think it's nuts. I think Jim Harbaugh deserves to be able to coach his team, and maybe you push the punishment to next year, but that's how I would view it.
Innocent until proven guilty does not mean that you cannot be suspended pending the outcome of such investigation. Just ask Connor Stalions. The University of Michigan suspended him almost immediately once his name got brought up in an NCAA investigation. So there was a punishment handed out before the investigation was complete, unless you don't see a suspension as a punishment. But you can be suspended while things play out. I think ultimately the Big Ten has enough evidence to act right now. They're still collecting evidence, but what they have says, whether Harbaugh knew or not, Michigan cheated, and they benefited from that cheating. Therefore, they broke the rules. Somebody's got to pay. You can't punish Connor Stalions because he doesn't work for Michigan anymore. So who do you punish? The man in charge. That's just how things work. And you're right. I didn't have to go to law school to understand that.
No, but Connor Stalions is the one who needs the punishment. Dressing up as a Central Michigan coach, it is beyond nuts. I don't think Jim Harbaugh would ever do something like that. I mean, look at what his daughter said. I know it's his family, but his daughter said that he's a man of honor. He always does everything the right way, checks every single box, does everything right. And I would say that he does. I think the biggest issue here is the NCAA needs to figure out how to be able to have the coaches communicate to their quarterbacks with a radio in their helmet. I think it's silly to suspend a guy who potentially did not know what was going on.
Smartest thing you said all sports court, Mark. There will be headset communications going forward. I think that's what will come from this. But ultimately, they say cheating is like speeding. If everybody's doing it, once you get caught, don't tell me about what everybody else did. You got caught, time to pay the piper. Tell us your verdict. How do you rule? Leave a comment on Facebook. Next week, we'll highlight our favorite.
Until then, Sports Court is adjourned.